الحمد لله رب العالمين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته كما صليت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته كما باركت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Inshallah, with the 200 questions about Islamic beliefs, and we are doing the question number 176 inshallah ta'ala. Now, as a reminder inshallah for all, just to say that next week we have the lecture on as usual, but at 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7, we will do a new book that is called التعليقات الأثرية على المنظومة البيقونية. This is a book on the terminology of hadith. So we will start that. That will be right after Asr, inshallah. We will start at 6, between 6 and 7. Then after that we will continue with the 200 questions on Islam by the Islamic beliefs by the Sheikh Hafid al-Hakami. We still did not finish this book, so we need to finish it first. Now the following weekend we may have a scholar coming, a sheikh coming. If we do get that sheikh, then alhamdulillah. If we didn't, then we will have a program either Saturday and Sunday or on Saturday only, inshallah, as you wish. And I am suggesting that we do the summary of Al-Wabil As-Sayyib, since we finished that portion of the book that we wanted to go through. Now it is suitable to go through from the beginning to where we reached, inshallah ta'ala. As I said, between Maghrib and Isha we will do the book which is Hisn al-Muslim, the fortress of the Muslim, by the Sheikh Sa'd al-Qahtani Hafidhahullah. We chose that book because it is a suitable continuation of the topic of dhikr. We did the first part of Al-Wabil As-Sayyib, which deals with the dhikr, the benefits of dhikr, and the introduction that Imam Ibn al-Qayyim made to it. Then we finished Al-Wabil As-Sayyib at where the Sheikh starts mentioning the dhikr of the morning, the dhikr of the evening, dhikr of salah, ruku', sujood, what to say when you are worried, what to say for anger, and so on and so forth. So we didn't want to do that part because not all of us have that book, but all of us, alhamdulillah, have the fortress, and it is translated in so many different languages, so it's more suitable to use the fortress. So I'm just telling you, as to next week, we will start right after Asr with the terminology of hadith up until around 7, and then after that we will do the book by the Sheikh Hafid al-Hakami until hopefully maybe we'll be able to finish it next week. The following weekend, it is a long weekend, so we will use it. If the Sheikh comes, then we will be with the Sheikh. If he didn't come, then we have our own program. Probably next week I should be able to let you know if the Sheikh got the visa or he didn't, so we can plan for the following long weekend. Then I will be leaving for about 3 weeks, from May 20th up until June 12th, right? So I won't be here for that time, so you get some time off, right? And then after I come back we will continue with our lectures inshallah ta'ala. طيب. The Sheikh Hafid al-Hakami alayhi rahmatullah, he puts the question which says ما الرقى المشروعة. What are the ruqa? Ruqa is the plural of ruqyah, and the ruqyah, as we mentioned before, is the dhikr, the remembrance, or the words of remembrance of Allah, or dua, words of supplication that you should use for, that is legislated in the Sunnah for healing, to heal yourself, to seek the healing. So he says, what are the ruqyas, what are the ruqa that are legislated, that are legal ones? So we understand from this that there are words to seek healing that are legal, that are legislated in the Sunnah, and there are ones that are not allowed, that are illegal. And that is the following question, actually. 177 asks about what are the illegal ones. So the legal ones, he defines them as the ruqya that is taken from the book and the Sunnah. He said khalisa, purely from the book or the Sunnah. So like what? Like, for instance, Surah Al-Fatiha. Right? You get sick, you recite Surah Al-Fatiha to yourself or to the one who is sick. Right? And so on and so forth. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Anything from the Quran or the Sunnah. Likewise, the Sunnah is the same. أُعِيذُكَ بِكَلِمَاتِ اللَّهِ التَّامَّةِ. Those ones. Right? Or the pain, Bismillah, 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 أعوذ بعزة الله وقدرته من شر ما أجد وأحاذر 7 times. This dhikr is from the Sunnah. So this you seek a healing for it. So if you have a headache, then you place your hand on your head and then you say Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah with the name of Allah 3 times. Then أعوذ بعزة الله وقدرته, I seek refuge with the might of Allah and His ability. من شر ما أجد وأحاذر, from the evil of what I feel, what I find, the feelings that I find within me, and what I am cautioned of or what I am afraid of. Right? You say that 7 times. Right? So this is now ruqya. It's called ruqya. Right? Or you recite Surah Al-Fatiha. That is ruqya. Right? Words that you use to heal yourself, from whatever kind of pain. So the ruqya that is legal is that which is taken purely from the Quran and the Sunnah, and it was with the Arabic tongue. وَكَانَتْ بِاللِّسَانِ الْعَرَبِي, the Arabic tongue, the Arabic language. And each of the one performing the ruqya and the one seeking the ruqya, you have someone, sometimes you do for yourself, sometimes somebody performs it on you. So the one who performs it is ar-raqi, the performer of the ruqya. The murtaqi is the one who asked for the ruqya to be done to him. Right? This is murtaqi. So both the one who performs it and the one who is whom it is done to, both of them believe that its effect, the effect of the ruqya, cannot happen except with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. For the Prophet ﷺ, he was the ruqya was performed on him by Jibreel alayhi salam, and he himself alayhi salatu wassalam, he performed the ruqya to many of the companions, and he approved the companions radiallahu anhum, he approved them to do them. Rather, he commanded them with it. He commanded them with to perform the ruqya, and he allowed for them to take the pay for it, أخذ الأجرة, to take even some money for it, whether it is money or otherwise. The hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, he took a sheep, a flock of sheep they gave him, right? So he took it, and they ate that, and that was the pay. And even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was given from that. He said all of that is in the 2 Sahihs, fi Sahihain, Bukhari and Muslim, and other than them. All of this information is in there. Now him saying it is with the Arabic tongue, Arabic language, because as you will hear in the next, let's leave it for the next one. Question number 177, he says, what are the illegal ruqyas, the illegal ruqa, the illegal words of seeking healing? He answers, they are the ones that is not from the book nor the Sunnah, and is not in the Arabic language. Rather, it is from the work of shaitan and him using the people, right? استخدامه, right? Or استخدام الشيطان, this person is using the shaitan for these ruqyas, والتقرب إليه بما يحبه, and seeking nearness to him with that which he loves. يعني they will use words as ruqya. Those words are pleasing to the shaitan and brings the people close to him, right? And the shaitan is using the so-called performer of this ruqya. He's using him, right? يعني, for instance, this is one of the things I have read in one of those yellow books يعني, that was available a long time ago. They say when you feel يعني weakness or you want to be strong, then you repeat the words shalmach and shalmach, right? I don't know what this is, يعني shalmach and shalmach, right? Are they the words, names of some satans, some jinn or something? Allah knows best. But if I ask you, or if you ask someone, what is shalmach and what is shalmach, right? These words يعني, are not known what they are, right? So you could be calling upon someone who is from the satans, right? So therefore he is pleased that you are calling upon him and invoking him. It's like supplicating him and calling him, right, to help you with things. So this is something that is not known what it means, right? So now he's saying Arabic language, right? He means by that so that the meaning is known. The meaning is known, right? So because if you use, he's talking to in the Arabic language, so he's talking to the Arabic speaking, basically. So if it's done in a different language that the performer of the ruqya, he doesn't know what he's saying, right? Then that is not a legal ruqya, because you are supposed to know what you are saying. So if you're saying things that you don't know what they mean, then chances are, is very likely that you are using words that are, Allah knows best, they are haram, right? طيب. He said, like many of the dajajila. The dajajila is the plural of one dajjal, and dajjal is the, like al-masih al-dajjal, right? Dajjal is al-kathir al-kadhib, yani, the one who lies a lot, dajjal, right? So dajajila is the plural, like the many liars, and musha'widhin and mukharrifin. You know, musha'widhin, like jugglers, and mukharrifin, people who base their things on methodology or not methodology, mythology or myths, right? They bring things that are weird and strange, and they just use them so that as if these are things to be used for healings. And many of the people who look in the books of hayakil and talasim, talismans, right? Like the book he mentioned, the Shams al-Ma'arif and Shumus al-Anwar. You know, there is these are famous books that the people take those weird words from them. Shams al-Ma'arif, the sun of the knowledge, right? And Shumus al-Anwar, right? The sons of lights. They call them like that, right? Making you feel that these are very important books when they contain, you know, very dubious information in there, right? And other than them, of the books, yani of the things that the enemies of Islam has entered upon Islam وليست منه في شيء. These books, although some may view them as Islamic books, when they are not to be referred to Islam at all. He said ولا من علومه في ظل ولا فيء. Yani they're not from the knowledge of Islam, period, at all. Right? So he said, as we have explained in the explanation of the Sullam and other than it. This book that he authored, Sullam al-Wusul, we mentioned many times that he explained it, alayhi rahmatullah, and lately it's published in 3 volumes. I told you, I always point to it, it's behind me here. This is his bigger book, and it seems from which he summarized this book of question and answer. Allah knows best. He refers to it all the time because that one is a book that is much more detailed than the one that we are translating and going through. So these ruqyas or words of seeking healing, those words, if they're not from the Quran, not from the Sunnah, not from a language that is understood, not in the Arabic language, right? Then they will be from the work of the shaitan. And the shaitan basically using these people to fulfill and satisfy what he loves and what he likes, right? And they go in all kinds of weird things they will do, right? They will do all kinds of the weird things. Maybe some other time we'll mention some of these funny things that they talk about, but sometimes it's really out of the ordinary, and they will tell the people to do things that are completely out of line, right? It's just insane, but then they do them. And unfortunately I found some of these books being sold here in Canada, like the famous book Ar-Rahma fi al-Tibb wal-Hikmah, they call it, Mercy in Medicine and Wisdom, right? And the content of it, أعوذ بالله يعني من الشيطان الرجيم, is very weird information in there that the one with sound intellect will not accept. But sometimes the sick, when people get sick, they get sick in the heart too, and in mind. So anything that may work, well, give it a chance, try it out. We don't lose anything, just try it. Islamically speaking, that is not true. The ruqya that works is only the legal ruqya. The illegal ones, the haram ruqya, must not be used. The next question, 178, he asks, ما حكم التعاليق? What is the ruling on the things that the people hang of تمائم, أوتار, حلق, خيوط, ودع, and other than or the likes of that. So those things that the people hang, whether they call it tamima, right, like a talisman or something like that. The awtar, right, awtar, this is basically awtar, it's the plural of watar. Spring, not spring, string with the T. String and strings, awtar. Hilaq, round things or things that are circular in shape. Khuyut, again, khuyut is again strings or threads, right? Threads. And wada', right? This is something that resembles things that in shape it looks like the things that are from the sea. Oyster, right? Shell, like a shell from the sea. It resembles that, and they use them for to seek the healing. They hang them with this intention. Now he mentions that the Prophet ﷺ said, and this hadith is a weak hadith, it says, من علق شيئا وكل إليه, the one who hangs something, then he will be left to depend on it, right? So يعني meaning it will not benefit him at all. So if he is depending on that thing which he hangs, right? يعني Allah will not support him, Allah will not assist him. He will let him go with whatever he chose for himself. Meaning he will end up failing and being let down, right? The wording of this hadith is not that authentic, but there are other hadith, like the next one is agreed upon. I don't know if they translated it. There was before, if they find a weak hadith, they just drop it from the translation. I don't know if they did that or not, right? I don't know if they mentioned it. من علق شيئا وكل إليه. The one who hangs something, he will be left to, or will be left to be entrusted with it, or under the trust of that thing that he hanged, right? Or that he hung. Did they translate it or they didn't? They didn't, and they dropped it. Yeah. What did they say there?
They said no necklace of strings will be left on the necks of the camels or the necklace.
No, that's not the one. All right, so the next hadith he mentions is that, and this is agreed upon by Bukhari and Muslim, that Rasulullah ﷺ, he sent in some of his journeys, some of his travels, he sent a messenger that there should be no necklace of string, no necklace of string, or no necklace should be left in the neck of a camel. It should not be left at all, except that it must be cut off. Right? It must be cut off. Now this water, I mentioned, it is the string. You know, you have the bow and you have the string as part of it, which the arrow goes on it and they shoot. That string, according to Sheikh Abdulmonem bin Hassan al-Sheikh in Fath al-Majid, he says that the people of Jahiliyyah, the pre-Islamic era, they used to, if the string of the bow got too much used up, so it got worn out, right? They will take it out, they will place a new fresh string, and they take the old one and they tie it around the neck of the camels, believing that this will push away the evil eye from them, right? Well, that's what they used to do. This string, old string, used up string, right? They take it, they tie it around the neck of they put it like a necklace, they put it, and they think that this will push away, repel the evil eye, right? So Rasulullah ﷺ ordered that there shouldn't be any string like this that is left on the neck, except that they have to cut it out, right? They have to cut it off, right? طيب. The next hadith, which is also an authentic hadith, it says that الرقى والتمائم والتولة شرك. This hadith, Rasulullah ﷺ says, it's an authentic hadith. It says that الرقى, words of seeking healing. Do they translate as an incantation, or what do they use for it? Ruqa. They just use ruqa? Okay.
They say all type of amulets.
Amulets. They use ruqa as amulets. But then tama'im, what do you use for it? What is the translation of the hadith? Inna ruqa, surely, or verily. Ruqa,
Are disbelief.
ruqa, and what?
And all types of amulets.
That's it? Okay. Okay, so they did not translate it. There is ruqa, which are the words of that are to seek healing, and tama'im, the plural of tamima. One is tamima and tama'im, right? Could use the word talisman for that. It's also something that people hang in order to or amulet for that matter, if you want to use that word. People hang seeking a healing. And tiwala. Tiwala, this is also something that they hang, but what they use this for is basically to make someone love someone else, right? So I can call it tiwala is love magic, right? The magic or sorcery meant for achieving the love between two people. That is what a tiwala is, right? So 3 things are mentioned here: ruqa, tama'im, and tiwala. So ruqa, he's talking here about what? It says that ruqa, tama'im, and tiwala, all of them are shirk, yani forms of associating partners in worship with Allah. So ruqa here, which ruqa are meant? The ruqa from the book and the sunnah? No, he's talking about the haram ruqya. So you might see a hadith that has ruqya in it, which is something good to use. Another hadith like this one, it says ruqa is shirk, ruqya is shirk. So don't confuse that. That one talks about ruqya that is legal. The other hadith is like this one is talking about ruqya that is illegal, right? So the illegal ruqya is shirk, and the tama'im, things that the people hang, whether you want to call it amulets, a talisman, whatever, those are shirk. And also tiwala, which is something that people hang, but specifically to bring love between two people. Usually is the woman or the man, he will do this, he will ask the sorcerer to do this thing so that it will make the woman love her husband, or the opposite, or they will make them attached to a certain person. All of that is shirk. Now the next hadith he mentions.
Sheikh, tiwala, is it witchcraft also considered a tiwala? Witchcraft, is this meaning of tiwala?
Tiwala is yani sorcery. What do you mean witchcraft? Witchcraft is sorcery, magic.
Yeah, but there is a
Tiwala is love magic. As I said, if I want to give it like a simple translation, is magic meant for love between two people, right? So I can't, I don't think there is a word in English that I can use. So witchcraft is so many things. Witchcraft is like any type of magic or sorcery. There are so many, but this is now special magic meant for establishing love, right? And sometimes the people do this and it just brings the opposite, right? So because those people and what they use, وَالْعِيَذُ بِاللَّهِ يعني, right? So the next hadith he mentions, and probably it's being dropped from your copy because it is judged to be not authentic. It says, مَنْ عَلَّقَ تَمِيمَةً فَلَا أَتَمَّ اللَّهُ لَهُ. The one who hangs a tamima, talisman or an amulet, then فَلَا أَتَمَّ اللَّهُ لَهُ. May Allah not perfect and complete. Yani whatever he intended, may it not be completed, right? May it not be perfect. Tamima and atamma. Atamma, to perfect, to finish, to complete, right? So as in the hadith, when you come to the salah, come to it walking, do not come running, and have peace, tranquility and respect when you come to the salah. Whatever you catch with the imam, pray, and whatever you miss, complete. فَأَتِمُّوا وَمَا فَاتَكُمْ, whatever you missed, فَأَتِمُّوا, finish or complete, right? So the word tamima, which is amulet, talisman, right? Atamma, right? So he used from the same, right? So may Allah not perfect for him what he wants to do. وَمَنْ عَلَّقَ وَدْعَةً فَلَا ودع الله له. يعني لا جعله الله في دعة وسكون. So here, as I said, this wad'a is something that resembles a shell from the sea, a seashell, and they also hang it thinking that it might bring them some, healing or whatever. So here in this narration, which is weak, as we mentioned, it's called wad'a, waw dal with a sukun, ayn ta marbuta, wad'a, right? So it says la wada'a Allahu lah, la wada'a Allahu lah. So may Allah, it's a dua against him that Allah will not give him peace nor tranquility. He's hanging this wad'a, right, to get the healing, to get the peace, tranquility, and the narration says, may Allah not give him that, So there is weakness in it, but this is the meaning of it, right? The Sheikh mentioned it, so we mentioned it and explained it. Now, in a narration that is judged to be authentic here, it says, من تعلق تميمة فقد أشرك. The one who hangs a tamima, an amulet or a talisman, then he has committed shirk. He has committed shirk. Now there is another hadith that he mentions, which it is also judged that it is not authentic. It says that the Prophet ﷺ, he saw in the hand of a man a circle of made of brass, made of copper, حلقة من صفر. So he said to him, what is this? And so it's like a bracelet, right? Like a bracelet. It's a circular in shape. It is made of brass or from copper. So he asked him, what is this? So he said, min al-wahina. This is like a sickness that is called that, right? So he's putting this bracelet to be healed from that sickness. So he told him, take it off, inza'ha, take it off, for it will not increase you except in weakness, right? So the sickness is called wahina, and the word wahan, right? Wahan means weakness, right? So he told him, take that bracelet off, for it will not increase you except in weakness. And you put it on, try to heal yourself, this will make you even sicker, right? Then he said to him, if you die while it's on you, then you will never ever be successful. ما أفلحت أبدا. You will not be successful at all. Once again, this narration has weakness in it. The Sheikh went on to say that Hudhayfa, the companion radiallahu anh, he cut off a string or a rope from the hand of a man. Then he recited the statement of Allah Ta'ala, وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ. And most of them believe not in Allah except that they are committing shirk. Right? So he believes in Allah, but then he's hanging this rope on him, right? This string on him, believing that string will heal him. So this is shirk. So he said, most of them, he recited the ayah, most of them believe not in Allah except that they are committing shirk. Right? So they believe in Allah, that He is the creator, the sustainer, the one who controls the universe, yet they seek the healing through these things which do not really heal. Also, Sa'id ibn Jubair rahimahullah ta'ala, he said that the one who cuts off a tamima thing, something that is hanged or that is hung on the neck of someone or a hand or whatever, the one who cuts it off from a human, then it is worth freeing a slave, he said. It is worth freeing a slave. right? Cutting off a tamima, something that is hung seeking healing, then it is like setting a slave free. There is a great reward in this, he is saying. طيب. The next question, 179, he said, ما حكم المعلق إذا كان من القرآن? What is the ruling of the thing that is hung if it was from the Quran? So now you have someone who wrote something of the Quran on a piece of paper or something, and then he hangs it. Now we understood if it is from other than the Quran, it's shirk. What about if it is from the Quran? He says that the answer to this, that it is narrated that this is allowed from some of the pious predecessors, بعض السلف, and the majority of them upon the position or that it is not allowed, على منعه. Even if it is from the Quran, it's not allowed. The majority of them are upon that. He said, like Abdullah ibn Ukaym, Abdullah ibn Amr, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, and his companions, radiyallahu anhum. And this is al-awla, he says. This is more like it, most deserving to be correct, closer to being correct, the closest to being correct. لعموم النهي عن التعليق, because of the general forbiddance of hanging things, for seeking healing. Also, ولعدم شيء من المرفوع يخصص ذلك. There is nothing from the ahadith that are narrated, raised up to a statement of the Prophet ﷺ, which makes an exception or makes it special that it's okay to hang something from the Quran. There is no hadith that says this. The hadith that forbid hanging are general, and there is no statement for things that are from the Quran. He said also, وَلِصَوْنِ الْقُرْآنِ عَنْ إِهَانَتِهِ إِذْ قَدْ يَحْمِلُونَهُ غَالِبًا عَلَى غَيْرِ طَهَارَةٍ. He said also to protect the Quran from being despised, from being looked down upon or treated with humiliation. Because he said, for they most of the time carry it without having tahara, without having purification. You see, if they hang it, they don't have tahara, and they are hanging it like that. Also, وَلِأَلَّا يُتَوَصَّلَ بِذَلِكَ إِلَى تَعْلِيقِ غَيْرِهِ. Also, another reason why it should be not allowed, so that the people will not use it as a means to hang other things. And this is true. If you've seen some of the hijab, they call it, right? You open it, you find some things from the Quran, and then you find other things that you don't know what the meanings are. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I have seen some of these. So they might write some of the Quran just as it's from the Quran, but then they write other things, right? Or they hang something, you tell them take this off, they tell you it's from the Quran, it's okay. And then they hang other things. Well, is that from the Quran too? Oh, well, it's not from the Quran, but it's okay. The Sheikh gave it to me, right? So, when you cut this off completely, don't hang anything, not from the Quran or otherwise, other than the Quran. Then he said, وَلِسَدِّ الذَّرِيعَةِ عن اعتقاد المحظور والتفات القلوب إلى غير الله عز وجل. Also to cut the means and avenues, right, from believing in things that are prohibited, and also to cut off, to sever the means and avenues to having the hearts being turned, being attached to other than Allah Azza wa Jal, especially in this time. Especially in this time of ours, which ignorance is widespread. Right? Ignorance is widespread. And many people, they use things in a way other than it is legislated for. The Mus'haf, the Quran is a healing, right? The Quran is a healing. The Quran is a healing. How is it a healing? To put a very small, they have the Quran in a very small booklet, right? Very small. You cannot see it at all. Yeah? The whole Quran. Then it is put in a box, a gold thing, and then they hang it. Is this the way the Quran is a healing? The Quran is a healing by reciting it, right? Not by hanging it on you. Or they have the Mus'haf, they put it on the wall, they hang it there, right? They hang it. Or they put under the pillow, right? So you don't see bad dreams. This is how you don't see bad dreams. You recite Ayatul Kursi, right? You recite Ayatul Kursi, then no shaitan will come near you. Don't recite it. Just put the copy of the Quran under your pillow. You use the Quran, you put it under the pillow. This is how you respect the Quran. This is disrespect of the Quran. You don't put it under your pillow, right? And then they hang it on people, kids and otherwise, and they go everywhere. They go to the washroom, they go to this, that, thinking that this is the way to heal. It's not the way to heal. The Quran is truly a healing. But then you recite it, right? You recite it. You recite Aman al-Rasul at night, every night in the house, then the Quran will not come. The shaitan will not come. You recite Surah Al-Baqarah, then the shaitan cannot come inside the house, right? This is how it is. Not by putting the Mus'haf on the wall. Those frames that has the whole Quran in it. Very small writing. The whole Quran, mashallah, is hung on the wall. Right? They think that this protects. Right? But the protection really is by reciting, not by hanging it on the wall. The Quran was not revealed to decorate the walls, right? Was not revealed to decorate the walls. So this is the case. طيب. The next question. Let's leave the next question with the following one, because it deals with the fortune tellers, right? It deals with the fortune tellers, and we will go into talking about astrology and evil omens and like that, and the evil eye. So let's leave that for the next time, inshallah. We will stop right here, inshallah. If there are questions, then we can take that, inshallah.
Some Shaykh, they are permitted to write it and they drink.
Mm-hmm.
How that and the Quran is, and how they are permissible? Why? How?
Some of the scholars allowed that you would write the Quran with something that is allowable, like saffron or a material that is allowable, not like not blood or right, something haram. Some people they get this from the shayateen, right? But to write it with something allowable, let's say in a plate, and you write it with saffron, for instance, Ayatul Kursi, then they put water in there, so it will melt, and then they drink it, right? Some scholars allowed that, as they said that there is nothing disrespectful of the Quran here, and they tried it and it found that this is a healing, so they said it's okay. Others, they said no, this is not something that we were taught in the Quran or in the Sunnah, so they said period, no, it's not allowed. So there are these two positions there. Yes?
How about specified? Recently I came across a piece of paper and they had a short story at the top in Urdu saying that so-and-so was suffering from cancer, and then a pious woman came and told him to read Durud Sharif 3 times, and then read certain ayat of the Quran that were laid out, and then finish up with reading Durud Sharif 3 times. If people start to specify in such detail, is that permissible, or is it just we just stick to what was established in the Sunnah?
يعني the mention of this many times and that many times is not something to be يعني depended upon unless it is in the Sunnah.